Hey Aries, welcome to your weekly reading for the 14th to the 21st of October. I am Charlene Lizette. Whether you are new or whether you are returning, a massive thank you to you. Either way, I hope you click subscribe and become a part of our collective. Okay. I heard you. Ace of Wands, King of Wands. Here you are lighting up the space with your energy. I am not surprised by this at all. And the reason why I'm not surprised, Aries, is because we have the full moon in Aries happening in your sign on October 17th. Look, this full moon is a really, I don't know, it's very Aries. This Aries full moon is very Aries, okay? And if you are an Aries, which if you're watching this, chances are you are, and you know, I myself, if you happen to be new here, I am also heavily Aries coded. Okay. You know, Aries can be the hero and Aries can be the demon. So here's what I'm going to say to you, okay? Lean into that hero energy. Lean into the optimism. Lean into the play. Lean into the peace. 3 and 3, one more card. What we're doing this week is finally wrapping up a cycle. What's happening with the full moon, just like the full moon in itself, the energy is all about completion. It may not be how you want it to wrap up, Aries, but it's the way that it needs to wrap up for now, right? Sometimes we think that actually, let me take that back. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Sometimes you got to lose the battle to win the war. And eventually, I guarantee you, if you are of pure heart, you have good intentions, you do good things, you operate with respect, with dignity, with morals and values and ethics, not from your ego. That's very low vibe Aries energy. And I really don't think that if you're watching this, you are low vibe Aries, because I don't attract that junk in my life anymore. Okay? And, you know, high vibe Aries is about being the hero. It's about forging through and being the warrior, not for self-serving purposes, but for the greater good of the collective. You know, and so this week, my advice to you is whatever the outcome is, remember that your energy is to be the warrior, that your energy is to be the hero, that your energy is connected to the Emperor card in Tarot. The Emperor does not show emotion. Do you think like a good emperor, that would be a dictator that would just lose their absolute shit, right? Start a war with half the world? That's very emperor shit or dictator shit. An emperor turns around and goes, okay, well, what will happen? What are the consequences? They're very logical. They're very grounded. They're very, you know, demure in that way. Maybe not in other ways, but definitely when it comes to the logistics of how they're going to operate their empire. And so this week, I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the logistics of how you're going to operate your empire. Because you've got Emperor as your amulet, and because of what I'm seeing here, we're going to dive into the love at the very end, okay? So the fact that we have the Ace of Wands, King of Wands to Justice, definitely a cycle here wrapping up. Quite frankly, I think this is going to be something that's going to make you fucking very happy, just because it's going to alleviate some challenge, some difficulty, something that's been burdening you. Honestly, I don't even think you initiated this shit, but you were like, all right, mother effer, you start it, I'll finish it, right? Finish her or finish him, right? Like that's the vibe here with this energy showing up. And to me personally, me, myself, and I really like this. I think this is really fantastic energy. I think this is the kind of energy that you need right now. The most important thing is to remember. Use your charisma, use your charm, but fucking karma, baby. Justice is karma. It is cause and effect. What you do, you will receive. So if you, for whatever reason, happen to be a lower vibe Aries stumbling across and you want to change your ways, and you realize that you do stuff out of ego, out of spite, out of vengeful, out of hatefulness, out of anger and resentment, babe, this fucking thing is going to come and slap you like that. Justice is going to be like, oh, yeah? You want to fucking be vengeful? You want to be disrespectful? So you don't want to do that, right? You want this to be on your side. And for this to be on your side, it means that you have to be, I love how I should just have Barbies when I'm doing this. This means that you have to really think about things long term, okay? Think about things long term. Do not be selfish. Now, with the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups, fours talk about balance and stability. The Four of Swords is retreating, resting, refueling, resetting, okay, putting the swords down and healing the body. And the Four of Cups is one who doesn't want to accept the gift that is being given to them by God. So again, pay attention. What are the opportunities that are being presented to you? And are you denying them just to deny them? Or is it that you're denying them because they truly aren't good for you? What I'm seeing here is that there's a part of you that's denying it because you're still fucking butthurt. You may not like that I'm calling you out, but I'm an Aries, so I can. And if you don't believe me, I have a tattoo. Who would tattoo on their body the Aries glyph if they weren't an Aries? On the right hand, Emperor hand. So what I'm seeing here is Source saying push and move away from the pain, the strife, the challenges, the difficulties in your life. Cultivate harmony, cultivate balance. Literally, mantra card, balance. I bring a perfect state of harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. And then we have the third house here. The third house is about Gemini. It's about Mercury. It's about your neighbors. It's about media publishing. It has everything to do with communications and thoughts, your intellect, the way that you receive communication and information, the way that you process it and deliver it out into this world. It's your social environment, your daily settings, your siblings, your neighbors, okay? So clearly there's some chitty chats here, okay? And then we have the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. And what I'm seeing here with this is that you have this opportunity here to walk through a new chapter. You have an opportunity being presented to you by Source, by God, by whomever you believe in, right? Angels, masters, teachers, loved ones, to start afresh. Start a new way of being. Start a new chapter in your life. And the big question becomes is, why aren't you accepting it? Right? Why aren't you accepting it? You know, I'm going to dive into your love reading. At the end of this video, I'm going to pop a video about how to manifest everything that you want into your life. But in the meantime, I want to tell you a quick little story here. When my parents split, my dad made the decision to leave my brother and I with my mom. And for a long time, I didn't understand the why, right? I was, you know, I had like why? Why do I only get to see him so-and-so time and this and that and this and that? Anyways, as I grew up and I talked to my dad and, you know, I understood with the life path that he took and the things that happened to him, you know, shortly after the divorce and separation and whatever, and through my teenage years, I realized that my dad did it as a way to protect me and my brother. Because he knew if he had brought my brother and I along his journey, we wouldn't have the same quality of life. We wouldn't have the same care, the same love, the same attention that my mom would give to us. Right? He knew, even though it pained him and it hurt him and it meant that he didn't get to see us all the time, right? We still saw him pretty frequently, but just not all the time, right? He knew that us having one home, us having our mom, our primary caregiver, us having that one place to return to was way better than for him to take us into his journey. Even though he had his own home, his own place, whatever, it just wasn't the right thing. So my dad chose balance and peace and harmony, even at a place where it hurt him, right? It hurt him because he didn't get as much access to my brother and I. And I think this is, you know, I don't know if this is resonating with you. I don't know why that story needed to come out for me to tell you all. I have a great relationship with my mom and my dad, FYI. But look, hey, Emperor, showing up in your love life. I think the whole point of the story is to remind you that sometimes you got to make decisions for the betterment of other people, even if that's not a decision that you want for yourself, right? Like if your child, if your boss, if your romantic partner, if your parent, if your neighbor, if somebody that you love has said to you, this is what I desire, your ego might be like, ooh, that feels like I'm being rejected, or that feels like it's not nice, or that's not what, like, I thought that they were going to want something different, right? But at the end of the day, respecting them is a way of respecting yourself. Right? Because if you're breaking up with somebody, because it could happen with that new moon eclipse that happened on the 2nd in Libra, right? And this wrapping up, if you're breaking up with somebody, or if you're making a choice between two people, or, you know, if you've been in a third party situation, right? Like those things hurt, right? They create suffering and pain. If you're at a job that you hate, when you know that there's somebody that would take your job and love it, and you want to go and, I don't know, do whatever you want to do in your life, but you're not doing it because you're afraid, then like everybody's losing here. And this full moon wraps up a cycle here, offering you an opportunity to wrap that part of your life up that you worked really hard at and start afresh somewhere new. With the Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Wands, to me, this is an indication here of you being able to think about things long-term in your romantic relationships. With the Emperor and the Lovers, lots of decisions, lots of choices in your love life. I'm not surprised about that. And the stars showing up with the Ten of Cups. At the end of the day, this is about healing your heart, healing your romantic life, healing the type of partners that you choose, like healing from, you know, past romantic experiences, and finally making decisions in your life that are catered and focused towards your betterment, towards your evolution, towards you elevating your life and getting closer to manifesting your dream life. Aries, this is truly beautiful, Aries, right? It may not feel like it. It may feel bittersweet, but this is truly a gift from God right now. And I'm going to leave you with one of my tattoos that I have. It's in Spanish. I'm not going to say it to you in Spanish, but it says, "There's no rose without thorns." All right, here's a video about manifesting anything. If you need help gaining clarity, support through this journey, the link's in the description box below to book a session with me. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, your subscribes. We will see you later, alligators. Peace out. Bye.